Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a TarosanTalks video. It's a rant. Goody. I get to talk about things. That's what the channel's purpose for, apart from blowing shit up and everything else. Let's get back to the topic at hand. The Republicans suffered an ass whooping in the US elections, beaten by a scoreline of 332 Democrats to 206 Republicans. Barack Obama whooped the shit out of Mitt Romney in earning him a second term. In doing so, he became the first president to win on a high unemployment level, but also whipping the shit out of the opposition, who took a massive loss in all three sections. Although the Republicans still took control of the representatives, the House of Representatives, they lost a few seats there, which the Democrats took advantage of. They have to rally around for 2 years before they can try again, which is hardly a good thing. So let's get this out of the way. 10 reasons why the Republicans lost the US election. Go. Reason number 1: arrogance. Complete arrogance. They honestly thought they were going to win it on the last day, but they didn't even pay attention to exit polls. Fox News were basically lost for words when one of the panelists, Karl Rove, even questioned the analyst that gave Ohio to the Democrats, and it was basically car crash TV from then on in. That's arrogance for you. Reason number 2: rape claims. The rape claims basically were the defining part, which was for a few Republican senators who said them, then the Republican Party themselves distance. That's tearing their party apart, because the rich white old people which run the party were basically willing to sacrifice party values so they could win a term for their man Romney, which is a bit of a shame, really, which leads to reason number 3: the Tea Party getting decimated. 2010 was the reason why the Republicans won the midterm election, and that's the reason why they suffered, because most of those seats, barring their Republican presidential candidate at the time, Michelle Bachmann, who still kept her seat, but she lost a majority. Most of the people, which include the illegitimate rape person, Todd Atkins, he fucked up. He got kicked out. Which is a lot of reasons, really. When the Tea Party is basically destroyed, you've got no chance. Which is why they're trying to push the Republicans are trying to push the Occupy movement to try and get some headway, because they want to win the next election. Reason 4: the women vote. Women vote was higher in this election than they were in particular. Now, I'm probably going to mention this in a video, but I read this somewhere because I can't remember the source. If Romney was to win, would have won. There are 2 people retiring in the US Supreme Court and judges. For this very reason, Romney could have easily imposed from those 2 seats 2 conservative Christians, which would have dictated women's rights to abortion. Basically, what it meant is that the reason why the women vote was high was because if they didn't vote, then basically, if one person was to get raped and they wanted to get rid of the kid, then the law of the land, or the Christian conservative judges, would have said, no, you can't get rid of your kid. That is the rule. That is God's will. Which, unfortunately, for old Christians and all that, that's kind of bad news, really. If I was a woman, I would have protested a lot. You thought the slut walk was an interesting, controversial debate. The whole abortion scandal would have been huge. Thank God bullets were dodged that way. Next up, reason number, I think it's number 6 or 5. I'm not sure. I think I'll call it 6, and I'll try and remember. The Latino vote. Huge problem. Here's an interesting fact: the demographic for the Latino vote, or the Hispanic vote, went up, and the reason why most of the swing states went to the Democrats in the first place was the Hispanic vote. And the Hispanic voters, which is a good, 1 in 5, said fuck you to the Republican Party and Mitt Romney, because, well, if it wasn't for the fact that Arizona has the whole immigration problems and shit, you would not have imagined what would have happened. So now that Republicans now are trying to re-rally, trying to get the women and the Hispanic vote, I mean, sure, they can still hate black people, but that would make them racist. Which would have entered reason number 7. They would have started another war. Another big reason. The international community would frown upon Mitt Romney if he won, because he would have been so pro starting a war with Iran. It'd be ridiculous. And it'd be like international bases all over the UK, because David Cameron basically bends the backside for him anyway, so what's the basic point? So, yeah, we dodged a bullet. He'll be voted out. He'll probably be voted out in 3 years when we get Ed frickin' Miliband. I don't like that guy. If it was his brother David Miliband, I would give him a chance, but nah, I wouldn't do that. Reason number 8. Mitt Romney himself. Actually, no, I'll leave the Mitt Romney thing to last. His gaffes are next. Oh, where the fuck do I begin? Basically, if you are a president, then you have to, a presidential candidate, you have to watch what you say. Romney was as worse as Bush, making so many gaffes and flip-flops ridiculous, ranging from his foreign policy, which would have tore it, to dealing with issues that would not have lost, to issues that weren't really big, but trying to undermine tactics. It's just wrong. Which kind of leads to point number 9. Fox News itself. Utilized during 2000 and 2004, when Bush stole the election in 2000, then basically saying it was a mandate in 2004. Basically what happened is that McCain failed to use this one. McCain used Fox News, still didn't win. Then Romney didn't really use Fox News, or rather, it just focused on the issues which really didn't work, which include that Benghazi thing. And then there was like stories that didn't really work. And then there were so many Romney gaffes. For instance, the binders full of women gaff, that was stupid. The sabers and bayonets gaff, that was stupid. And then basically, what happens is that if a man makes a mistake during a debate, he screws up entirely. Which goes to my final point. Mitt Romney himself. The man had no fucking chance of winning. A Mormon, really? Mormon who had God issues. A man who was basically a coward during Vietnam. To a man who flip-flopped so many times on several issues that no one really realized. And then he would have started a war, raised taxes, basically immigration harsh policies, cutting the Obamacare thing. People basically just drove up in the masses and they voted him out. He didn't win his state. Ryan didn't even win the state. And even if there was a draw, they were saying that Romney should have been, if there was a draw or some sort, Romney would be president and Biden would be his vice president. Highly likely. And that's what you get. 10 reasons. If I've missed a reason, then it's basically my fault. So, 10 reasons why Republicans didn't win. And if you got your own views, post in the comment section below and I'll answer. If you have a criticism, or if you're a disgruntled 40-something Republican that just doesn't like the videos, trust me, everybody has one of those. I has too as well. Or if you're misogynistic, for instance, then I have to say, the current Republican Party has been set back at least for 4 years. If they don't get a Hispanic vote, for the next 8 years, they're going to be the minority. And heck, if the rumors are reported are true, they're gonna so populate Texas that Democrats may have a chance of winning that place within 8 years. Kind of scary when you think about it. And that's the end of that. See you next time, guys. Bye for now.